The mid-50s, it's called Jazz Poem. This has been influenced by Jimmy Guthrie from his album called Train in the River. This is the time when the beatniks were going through reading poetry and playing modern jazz. So we're going to do our own thing. Before dawn, constellation skies, moon on trees, star by starlight, half-breed, broken like a poor butterfly, waiting for a chance to come. Thoughts of a metamorphic change. Sea breeze blowing in the hair. The snow is green. Hey, I'm going home. Back in Cambridge in the 60s, I was probably about 18 years old, we used to spend a lot of time in Grantchester Meadows, which is a song that Pink Floyd actually wrote. We're going to do one later on, but I think everybody on this island must have a favourite place that they want to go to, where they can relax, meditate, whatever, have a picnic even. And my favourite place is Newtown. So in the summer I love going down there, sometimes in the winter, not that often. So this is called Daybreak. In the stillness of the evening light, in the heat of night, when dawn creeps up unaware, starlings flown from their nests, geese migrated, now reunited on the mud flats of Newtown. Seagulls squawk, for they have no secrets. I long for your company to while away the day. This next piece is called Parallel Lines. Time and distance running parallel with each other, while our memories fade, sun comes up and wipes out shade. The moon takes its place, another life force displayed. When the blue sky turns grey, I'll pray for for you, dear lady. In meditation, for we all walk with compassion and be grateful for the warmth in our hearts. Heats the world. White light lights up hope. We travel through time like burning stars. In unison, I have come so far, so close. Parallel lines, well, they mark out our future. Form and space are in between the human race, leaving our past without a trace. This next piece is called An Ocean of Hope, and I think we've got to have hope in this crazy world we're living in at the moment. There's so much going on, a lot of conflicts and rubbish I don't want to get into. So hopefully there is future and big hope to change this world for the better. An Ocean of Hope. There's a sea full of violence with no tolerance. I'm praying for the rain to wash it all away, and the wheels of tomorrow will keep on turning. There's a smile in the sun, a dream in the moon, and stars guide us onwards to a destination of destruction, finding a way to a new station. Among humankind, I bow down to you in my Father's house, and the wheels of tomorrow will keep on turning. We move on, I'd like to thank the battered instruments. We've got Merlynna on harp, Richard on guitar, and our best friend, Dr. Brian Hinton.
Occasional piano. Some of the chords are beyond me.
No, that's all right. Right, I'm now really going back to Cambridge and Syd Barrett. These next few writings are for Syd Barrett, who I said unfortunately didn't last long in the rock world. And he was a wonderful guy, a charming guy, so friendly, kind, warm. He loved everybody and everything, and unfortunately he loved drugs, so that was the demise of him having a breakdown. So Grantchester Meadows, the Pink Floyd wrote the song called Grantchester Meadows, but I'm putting my words to a little bit of the music. So for Syd Barrett, Grantchester Meadows. Sitting on the banks of the Cam, gurgling waters whisper their secrets, for they tell who I am. Oh, Grantchester meadows, how I long for you, to see you once again. Lying in a field, a meadow of memories, water clear like glass, flowers wild rise tall above the grass. Grantchester meadows, oh Grantchester, this is where I roamed once in another lifetime. Friends called it their home. Grantchester peaceful, Grantchester so still, Grantchester meadows inside of me. The church spire stands over us like a statue. The clock never chimes. It's stuck at 3 o'clock. I read about you in a poem. That pays reference to Rupert Brooke, who wrote a poem about the clock that struck at 3 o'clock, and it's still there 150 years later. And when you go to Grantchester, well, if we go to Grantchester meadows, we look up at the clock and think of a guy that got killed in the First World War.
Is there honey still for tea?
Sorry?
Is there honey still for tea?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in his time, in our time, we used to take a punt and punt up the Granter into Grantchester, into the meadows, and go into the cafe and have our cream tea and coffee. And it's still there today. It's just amazing. Right.
Is that all you had, Peter?
We cannot divulge. We cannot divulge at the moment. Later.
It's in his book. If you buy it, it's in his book.
Yes. Excellent book.
Well, the title "Both Sides of the Moon" actually comes from the Pink Floyd's "The Dark Side of the Moon," and Dave Gilmour's wife, she wrote a book called "The Bright Side of the Moon," and I thought, well, why not both sides of the moon? Because it's got both sides, hasn't it? And I'm talking both sides. So another reference to Syd's "Song for the Piper." Their first album was called "The Piper at the Gates of Dawn," and to us, Syd Barrett was the piper. He was our piper in the 60s, back before he formed the Pink Floyd. So, "Song for the Piper." He who plays with the piper sees the gates of dawn. The master of ceremonies conjures up new tricks. Conquest comes, conquest goes inside the gates of dawn. Inside the gates of dawn, the seer sees all. No judgment necessary. The magician keeps his spells in the dark as his apprentice makes his mark, and the spark arises into the heart. As the piper sits on his wooden throne, from his magic flute plays a humming tune. The beggar is obliged to beg inside the gates of dawn. The gateway to freedom has been stolen. Will the oceans regain their calm?